During the French Revolution, the Queen of France infamously told starving peasants who had no bread, let them eat cake. And centuries later, a statement which is being compared to that statement has come in from Pakistan, if the country can even be called a functioning state. Here's what's making headlines. Recently, Pakistan's Defence Minister Khawaja Asif offered a rather bizarre solution to the country's devastating flood catastrophe. He wants Pakistanis living in the low-lying areas to store the floodwaters in containers rather than letting them flow into drains. Now, he even asked the people to see the flooding as a blessing. Now, we are not surprised by the Pakistan minister's statement, just as we are not surprised by the Pakistan government's complete failure to fix the crisis at hand. But in case Asif needed a reminder, this is what his so-called blessing looks like for the ordinary Pakistanis.
न्यूज़ का चैनल तो बहुत माशाल्लाह अच्छा है।
To a Pakistan media outlet, Khwaja Asif reportedly said, I'm quoting, people who are protesting against the flood-like situation should take the flood waters home, quote unquote. Not just that, he went on to add, reportedly quoting here, people should store this water at their homes in tubs and containers. We should look at this water in the form of a blessing and hence should store it, quote unquote. The minister also urged the building of small dams that can be completed quickly instead of waiting 10 to 15 years for mega projects. In his words, quoting, we are letting water go down the drain, we must store it, quote unquote. On the ground, meanwhile, the scale of the disaster is far from a blessing, as you can see. According to Pakistan's own official data, in fact, over 2 million people, more than 2,000 villages have been impacted in Pakistan's Punjab province alone. And as per Pakistan's National Disaster Management Authority, over 850 people have been reported dead. Over 1,000 have been injured nationwide between June 26 and August 31. And the crisis is still unfolding. Officials say the floods are the worst in decades, with major dams near capacity and more rain forecast. Rising water from the Chenab River expected to hit Multan district, merging with inflows from the Ravi. The surging water level at the river Panjnad is expected to peak on September 5. In fact, floodwaters from the Satluj continue to advance towards the critical barrages, including the Sulemanki and Head Islam. Officials cautioning that 2 more days of heavy monsoon rainfall predicted across Punjab could derail the relief operations and push the water levels even higher. The disaster comes at a sensitive point for Pakistan's fragile economy. Inflation had cooled to 4.1% in July from 11.1% a year earlier, and food inflation, which spiked above 50% in 2023, had eased. And now farmers and experts warn that the cost of recovery will run into billions of rupees to rebuild homes and re-establish farms. And if that was not enough, the United Nations has warned that flooded farmlands and the destruction of the ready-to-harvest crops triggered fears of a looming food crisis, along with skyrocketing inflation across the country. And while Pakistan's leaders may offer empty advice in a way, its millions of Pakistani citizens are left like all other issues in the country, in a way to navigate this crisis all by themselves. And the minister's statement regarding storing water in tubs may sound ridiculous, but it's just a reflection, in a way, of a government more interested in sound bites than actual solutions. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.